Hey guys, and welcome back to another review and install episode. So today we're going to be looking at the Openroad 270 Plus awning. So just as a full disclaimer, Openroad reached out to us and basically said, look, would we be interested in trying out one of their products? We saw the 270 Plus, which is pretty much a like for like of the previous awning that we had on the car.
So I think it's always good to keep your mind open with different brands and things. It's easy to get stuck on the same one, so we were more than happy to try something new. So we're here to install our new 270 Plus awning, and then over the next couple of months we'll be able to kind of try it out, see how we go, and then give a review.
Today we'll give you some sort of initial feedback on our first thoughts and, you know, things that immediately jump out at us, but I'd hate to sort of tell you things that weren't true or without testing it fully. So without further ado, we'll jump straight into it and let's get this thing unpacked.
Looks pretty nice.
Does. Okay, so straight out of the box, you've got the awning. It comes with two nice canvas bags, which we're about to find out what's inside these. And you've also got three brackets that look just like this. First impressions, everything looks really good. Like, these are super solid brackets. They've actually got a nice bit of pinch weld that's been put on here, which I can only assume would be to, you know, stop anything from rubbing on that metal. So yeah, very well thought out initial impressions on that. That's great.
Yeah, some good detail, hey. And even like having all your bits come in this bag rather than just lots of little plastic bits that can fly out and you lose like a nut or something. So hopefully it's the same on the inside.
Absolutely. Right, we'll open it up, see what's inside.
All right, first off, you've got the straps. I'm gonna assume those are your straps to go, one strap to go on one side and then the other. All right, I think these are going to be the cords for the internal lighting.
Yes, that's our USB cable with a three-way splitter by the looks of it. Wow.
All the goodies.
Jeez, talk about providing you with plenty of nuts and bolts and hardware. There's a whole bag full of it, and I'm guessing that's to allow for sort of multiple different applications that you might have. Anyway, that's fantastic. They've given you everything there. Looks like 304 stainless hardware too, so it's not going to rust out. They haven't cheaped out there, so really good. We've got another bunch of hardware as well.
I have to say, they're already, it looks like they're really setting you up for any type of setup you have.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Typical pegs. Well, we've got three individual guide ropes. Again, that'll be as part of tying the awning down.
I have to say, I already like that they're fluoro orange, so I don't trip over them.
Yeah, we've had that problem in the past, haven't we? So. Okay, well that was the initial unboxing done. We're going to jump straight into the install side before we jump into this and discuss it in further details. To get started though, grab your bag of hardware and slide 4 M8 T-bolts into the channel on the back of the awning. Then take your awning brackets and line them up over the T-bolts so that the bracket sits on top. From there, place a washer over each bolt, followed by a nylon locking nut. Once that's done, just repeat the same process for the remaining brackets. I'd recommend only doing up your nuts by hand at this stage, that way you can slide your bracket into the required position. Once you're happy with this, then it's just a case of tightening all the nuts up with the 13mm spanner provided. If you haven't already, this is the part where you need to grab a mate. I've got mine here.
Preferably if you can get someone taller than me, because you're going to need to reach about up here.
That's right. And this bad boy weighs about 29 kilos, so I think you're going to need it.
Good? Yeah, that one. Yes, that one's in. That bottom one needs to come over a smidge. That one's in, okay. I'm just going to put these nuts on. Give me a second. Yep. Okay, everyone's good to let go.
Ta-da!
Woo!
Alright, that's the hard part done. Awning's installed, and it was a little bit fiddly, but to be honest with you, our sort of setup and the brackets that we have make everything a little bit more trickier than it would otherwise be for, you know, 90% of people.
As you guys saw though, when Matt demonstrated the other way you can install with the brackets that they provide, it was so easy. Yeah,
like if you've got a typical roof racks or like T-bars or platforms, the hardware and the mounting brackets they provide there's 101 ways that you could fit it, so I don't think you'd have any trouble. But just given that we wanted to use our sort of custom brackets and the setup we currently have, we just had to fiddle around a bit. Now for the fun part, let's see what this awning's about. It's got some simple Velcro straps to undo. 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. Just wait there a sec, let's pull this bit up. Cool, so you just pull those nice and taut. Do the other end as well, just nip that up a bit more. And there we are, simple as that. Openroad offer this in, you get the 270 version or the 270 Plus, which is the one we've got. With the 270, it sort of stops here and goes off at an angle, and you only get 8 meters coverage. Yeah, so full coverage with the 270 Plus awning, so that's great.
Also comes with a 3-year warranty, which very important, I think, for awnings like this, especially if you're going off-road and out camping a lot. You need something that you can rely on. Good
peace of mind, knowing that you've got a long warranty on the product, so great, that's great. So in terms of fabric used on the awning, it's a 230 gram polyester fabric. On the top, you've got that waterproof coating, and then on the bottom, something that Openroad call Eclipse shade technology.
Try saying that like 3 times quickly.
And basically, from what I can tell, that's basically just like a block out layer on the bottom. So it keeps it nice and dark in here, sort of, you know, you really get that shade, but also it protects you from the sort of harmful UV rays, so it's rated to like UV 50 plus.
Excellent.
Typical ripstop material that you like to see in the products, and all the seams and stitching looks really good quality as well.
When you purchase your awning, you can purchase the sidewalls as well. That is another option. We don't tend to necessarily use those a lot, so we didn't kind of opt for any of that. But it's got all the zippers through the whole front that you can connect all your sidewalls to as well.
They literally wrap the entire perimeter, including what would be your internal walls. So you really can sort of enclose your whole awning, which is great. Because they have used zips on the awning, over time, from what we've found out, is Velcro does wear down as well. You know, it gets dirty, and just from being used a lot, that Velcro starts to detach and doesn't work very well. So I do think with the use of zippers, that sort of longevity is there. So that's a great sign.
You can literally get options to do left or right. We obviously went with the passenger side because that is where our last one was, and that's where our brackets are. But you can just custom it to your setup. In
its freestanding form, which is as you see it now, with no support legs in place or guide ropes or anything like that, Openroad have said that this is good for 30k winds. And I have to say, like, initial thoughts, it looks pretty strong. It's made of a aluminium frame, like it looks pretty hefty. So, you know, time will tell with that. But then if winds pick up, they say drop the legs, drop your support legs, which is 4 of included, actually built into the frame itself. Then comes with 2 additional legs as well. But they say if you put the ropes down and all the legs are down as well, then it's good for up to 60k winds. Yeah, the 2 extra poles are really good as well. In the arms, they have pre-drilled holes as well, so you can just basically stick that up in there, and your extender as well. Yeah, absolutely. Also, another feature that we literally just saw, which I love, is when the legs come down, they pop into place rather than having Velcro having to wrap them up as well. So we'll talk about our lighting next. It basically comes with 4 strips, so 1 for almost every arm. It comes with a 4 splitter, so 1 for our arm over near the passenger side, and then your 3 here. It also has a USB connection, so good for any kind of your power banks, things like that, or we have a 12-volt system that we will plug it into. Let's give it a try. So the cool thing about this particular lighting system is that it's a touch, so there's no buttons, you can just touch it on. Super easy. It also has orange, white, and a mix as well.
So kind of perfect for any scenario, very customizable as well. You can even dim them as well. So if you hold it down, it dims to all the way off. So you could have really dim over here if you don't need it on, and then you can have one over the other side if you're cooking as well. So very customizable.
Another really noteworthy feature that I have to say I love is these little poles that you can push up, and that basically sort of changes the pitch of your roof and gives you like a nice runoff from the rain. So that comes included on 2 of the arms. You've got one here and then the one just above me. That means that, you know, again, you create great runoff from the rain without having to tie down extra guide ropes if you want to. Good thing is they do have that option as well. So there are loops around the perimeter of the awning between each of those legs that you can attach extra guide ropes to create more of a valley again. As a sort of starting point, I think that's fantastic, and that's not something I've seen included on too many awnings. All right, so that's sort of it for some specs and features. Now I guess it's probably a good time to run you through some of our initial thoughts and a bit of feedback as to things that kind of jump out at us, that we love, potentially don't love so much. So let's jump into it.
So my first initial thing that I really love is the way that the arms come back up. Sorry, the legs come back up into the arms and they pop in. So because so many awnings these days, they come with like some sort of Velcro strip, and they just honestly deteriorate. They're just fiddly and terrible, and I hate them.
Absolutely.
So that is definitely one of the pluses that I think for this. The only downside to these arms is that when they do come up, they cover the light partially. So I think that's something you have to think about as well. Obviously, they're super easy to pop down. So if you want your lights up, you can just pop the arms down. It's not an issue, but it is something to think about.
Yeah, yet to kind of see really if that affects how much light is kind of emitted. It might not be a problem, but as you said, something worth mentioning. I will say as well, the bracket that supports the arm on the awning, it seems really strong as well, sort of not just these little flimsy screws that you see. It's got a nice sturdy bracket on each of those individual legs. So I'd say it looks really well built from what I can see so far.
I also like the touch lighting as well. That's a really cool feature that I haven't seen before, or definitely on one of the awnings, any of the awnings that we've had. So that's really exciting. One other thing I do like about this one is that it literally comes with a pocket for all your bits that your awning comes with. So you don't have to have guide ropes hanging out everywhere. Where do I put my pegs? You know, all that. It just goes straight in here, because most of the time, as a passenger princess, and most of my passenger princesses out there will know, it ends up in your side pocket in the passenger seat, and then you can't put anything else in your side pocket.
Yeah, I may have been known to just sort of throw it wherever it lands in the car, and yeah, nice for organisation.
I think that's more of a me thing, but it's definitely something that I appreciate as a small detail.
Bit of a positive, I would say, is kind of just the actual placement of the arms when it's fully retracted. So obviously we've got like your typical canopy style doors. Opens up, and obviously it's not fouled on the arms itself. Now this is going to be very much sort of case by case because of the many different setups you see out there, where you've got a wagon or a ute with a canopy like we do. But potentially, who knows, that if you had a wagon, I don't know if any of these arms, depending on that style door, would foul on that. I don't think so, but again, each their own kind of setup. Okay, so one thing that I don't love, and don't get me wrong, it's not a hate, but it's the retractable straps that you get to sort of secure your awning on each end. We used to having that ratchet style, and I don't know if it's a noise thing or what, but just hearing that as you kind of secure it, it feels really sturdy, it feels well built. Not to say that these aren't, but it's just a bit smoother operation as well in terms of retracting and sort of extending that strap. Okay, so next thing, and yet to know whether it's really an issue or not, but again, perhaps worth mentioning, this kind of strip of fabric that goes around the perimeter, it's quite deep, and my only concern with that is that you might get quite a lot of flapping in the wind on a really windy day. That section of fabric there could be inclined to flap around a lot, obviously unless you've got that guide rope pegged down, that will probably help with that. But initial thought, that could be a problem. Ones we've had in the past, which I do quite like, it's been a sort of a lot of a narrow strip there, and again probably helps to avoid that scenario from happening.
So you've heard everything from us now. We are going to show you a pack down video as well, and we will see how well that goes as well, because I think that is definitely one thing that most people look for with an awning, is how it packs down. It needs to be easy and quick. So let's see how we go.
We got a little bit held up here trying to figure out how this arm at the front tucks back into the others. Turns out it actually has to go up and over the others, which is a little bit fiddly. Can't help but feel like if it tucked underneath the arms at the back of the awning, it would be a bit smoother operation. But to be fair, first time using it, so there's probably a bit of technique to it, and I'm sure with some more goes we'll have it down pat. So a minute 28 to here, not too bad, and then we absolutely stitched ourselves up moving forward from this point. We forgot to roll the straps out before pushing the awning back in, so this meant that the straps that hold the roll of awning together were tucked behind everything. Bit of a rookie error for a couple that have used 270s for quite a long time now.
Alright guys, so that was our initial unboxing and review of the Openroad 270 Plus awning. Hopefully over the next couple of videos we can kind of get an idea and showcase a little bit more about them and how we're feeling.
Yeah, I hope to sort of put it through its paces and have it sort of tested in that real world environment as well, where you've got the wind and, you know, things aren't perfect as they are currently, sort of thing. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes.
Anyway, keep your eyes out and we'll see you in the next one.
If you've got any more questions on the awning, just drop us a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give us a like and consider subscribing to the channel.